laban ng mga Cerberus boys, paring Asurai, dahil ito ang laban ng mga ng mga international lab. Na mga nakarating sa international lab.
Ito nga rin pala pag-usapan. Bago natin tignan mo na yung ban and pick phase.
Oh, sige.
I think this is like the first game from going way back pa dun sa finals ng Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split na natalo ng Imperium Pro Team ang Mineski doon.
Ang tagal na nun parang ilang buwan lang yun
so ito, titingnan natin kung ang Smart.Mineski ba nagkaroon na ba sila ng revelation na kailangan natin mag-practice ngayon, kailangan natin gumaling laban ngayon sa Imperium Pro Team because again, Imperium Pro Team is considered to be the best. Hindi na,
sa ngayon.
Yes. Hindi na like sabihin natin considered to be one of the best but the best Philippine League of Legends team in our country.
Sa ngayon, kayo ba naman nakapunta ng GPL, Brad? Di matik yan. Pero maibang balita tayo, ang patch natin ngayon, pagbabago, di ba? 6.9 tayo ngayon, mga papi chulo. Ang patch ng mga mga mahikenyos, mga mages.
Yun ang sabi nila, mid-season magic.
Tapos uso na ngayon yung mga elemento. Balita ko dito sa League of Legends natin, yung dragon. Pang-Encantadia na daw, Brad.
Bigyan natin na syempre ng yung Filipino na natin. Pero mas alam ng tao, Avatar.
Alam ng tao mga Avatar. Nako, abangan natin yan.
Okay. So, tignan mo natin ngayon yung bans ng Mineski dito. Of course, Caitlyn is a must-ban na para sa akin in terms of the ADR position because di ba nga sa 6.9 tayo, mas pressured ngayon ng mga mid laners na humanap ng stable mage in the mid lane because napakadaming changes ngayon sa mga mages. And, picking a mage that you haven't yet fully practiced in the 6.9 patch with the new items as well is kind of a risk. High risk, high reward na hindi na alam ng kalaban mo kung paano to kalabanin. So,
correct.
Baka hindi ka na ma-counter. Problem is, paano pag natalo ka, alam mo ba paano magbumalik doon? And then going back to the Caitlyn. Caitlyn is one of the most stable ADRs right now. She has great range, she has great siege potential, especially with her traps and her harass from that passive. Grabe, sobrang
may
lakas.
Pantakas pa na yung net, yung caliber net. Grabe, so I mean, sige, tingnan natin. Mukhang nag-aral tong mga Mineski boys. Tama ang sinabi mo, paring Asurai, pero ito going in sa mga kanilang pickings. Echo, pero as naka-hover dito ang Rek'Sai at ang usong-uso rin. Para sa akin, usong-uso to ngayon si long distance gaming na si Jhin.
Well, of course, Jhin does have some really insane damage output when he does get his itemizations. I think in terms of like playstyle can be comparable, let's say, to a Caitlyn. I'm just saying na hindi naman like 100% yon, but it's going to be a Lee Sin here actually for Kaigo. Sobrang tagal ko hindi nakakita ng Lee Sin. Pero tapos na lang muna natin yung mga bans ngayon.
Sige, go lang.
Azir and Kindred, of course, we've seen the light.
Ay, Kindred, pare.
The Azir of Light, and then of course yung Kindred de Suez.
Correct.
Na naka-pentakill pa.
Yan, kumbaga, yung Kindred niyan, hindi taga hindi jungler.
ADC talaga
Hunter talaga. Papatayin ka ng mga Wolfie. Yung huling laban nila, yung kalaban nila yung War Gods. Yun, di ba? Yung si Suez.
I think so.
Gravity. Pero dito naman sa kabila, yung bans dito, Maokai, Nidalee, Alistar.
Look at this though from Imperium Pro Team. Checking out their composition, their damage is not as explosive as I would compare it right now sa meron tayo ngayon sa I would say Mineski. Jhin does, deal a good amount of damage. Of course, sa Sivir natin ngayon, very safe pick. Lots of initiation with on the hunt as well as her wave clear with the Boomerang Blade and Ricochet. Of course, always good to have that because aside from getting yourself an insane amount of CS in a very short amount of time, yung mga possible sieges ng Mineski can be thwarted lalo na walang nakuhang Brom dito ang Mineski because kinuha agad siya ng Imperium Pro Team alongside the Sivir. So, aside from, clearing out the wave, meron din silang anti-siege potential as well with the Unbreakable of the Brom.
Correcto. Pero yung lineup nila, para sa akin, paring Asurai, sustainability. Hindi sila yung tipong mabilis mapatay. Tinan mo yan, Rise tsaka Shen, magkamukha yan. Baka mamaya malito yung Smart.Mineski. Sino ba dito si Shen? Di ba?
May maskara si Shen. Si Rice may ngipin.
Pareha sila ng kulay
pero
minsan nakakalito yun. Pero joke lang tayo. Oy, congratulations pala sa lahat ng mga first time bumoto. Parang Asurai. Pero congratulations din para sa Pilipinas. Tingnan natin kung sino ang magiging ating kampiyon. Pero wag na muna natin pag-usapan yan kasi haba ang usapan natin. Last pick para dito sa Mineski, Tom Kench at Gangplanks.
So it's going
palag-palag
to
din
be...
pala sila sa sustainability.
I actually like this. Like, I haven't seen a Tom Kench yet in the Philippines scene here, but because may Jin nga sila, Jin is...
protektado ni Asyong,
yeah, exactly. You have to be very defensive for this Jin, and I think this Tom Kench does do that very well. Lalo na, there's not really a lot of protect from the other champions, especially with the Gangplank in the mid lane, a Echo in the top lane, and then a Lee Sin. All he can do is probably kick people, but you probably want to do that. Probably want to use that ultimate as an engage tool, as a pick-off potential, rather than protecting your Jin. So it's all gonna be up to Noel to stick with his ADR and keep him alive for the duration of fights, for anything, and make this Jin, you know, maximize his damage output. Sa side naman dito ng Imperium Pro team, they have actually a counter for that, which could possibly be the LeBlanc in the mid lane, because this LeBlanc, lalo na wala naman talagang, or rather, you know, having those dashes, lalo na si Light pa gumagamit ito. Light is an insane mid lane player talaga, knows, has a huge champion pool, and he just knows when to go in. I think it was before na may mid lane LeBlanc, was that, I think, Fade from Naga, na medyo nahihirapan on that one. Maybe it's the different story with Light. I think it was the match between Naga eSports and Cerberus na nag 2-0 on Cerberus doon. Now we'll just see, because ito din, Imperium Pro team have JLC on the rise again.
Ayun naman.
Ito yung palagi ko narinig eh. Like, if you're gonna have an Echo matchup, always go for the Rise.
Tatapatan mo ng Rise. Ngayon ko lang nalaman yun, paring Asurai Ngayon ko lang nalaman na counter pala ni paring Rise ang si Tupac Shakur. Hindi, I mean, ngayon ko lang talaga din nalaman. Bakit ba? Kasi pag masyado ba makunat ang Rise para i-reco?
Well,
may W si Rise.
Yan na, yung sa kanyang rune prison na nga is, you know, one of the things that can catch up a Echo. Lalo na, di ba nga spam shotgun si Rise? Shotgun Rise nga nga pangalan niya, di ba, sa atin. And you just have to Q, then lock him in place with the rune prison, sunod-sunod mo na yung combo mo, kahit mag-chrono break doon, it's still gonna be a favorable trade in your side kung hindi naman ikaw madadamage dyan ng Echo na to. But I believe na before that thing happens, you have to have itemizations on the Rise, which is a difficult task for some players, but we'll see if JLC can do it. Of course, TG, we have seen him on Echo, very aggressive, very dominant na din naman, and we're gonna have to look at him early game para at least ma-push out itong Rise sa top lane. Though, Suez is of course a very good jungler. I've yet to see Kaigo's jungle with the Lee Sin, but we'll have to see if Suez can use these two beefy champions, especially to batter down on this Echo in the top lane.
Ngayon, usong-uso yan si Echo dahil sa kanyang sa kanyang cooldown, mobility gaming. So tingnan natin, tatapatan. Para sa akin, gusto ko yung lineup talaga ng Imperium Pro Team dito. Kasi ang dami nilang makunat. Tapos meron silang isang malikoters, baneters na si Light na sobrang technical maglaro. Ang hindi mo malalaman dyan, pag dumating ng late game, sa akin, ang hindi mo malalaman dyan, sino uunahin mo Pwede si Light ba or si Hate. Tapos kung wala silang mauuna, magugulat na lang sila, mapapatay sila ni JLC, which is si Rise, 'di ba? So tingnan natin kung anong gagawin dito ng Mineski, na para sa akin ang labo ng lineup dito Kasi ano ba pang set ng Mineski dito, parang Asurai?
Pang set ng Mineski dito,
yung W ni
well, yun na nga rin. Makikita natin
Echo.
Kasi ang pinaka surefire way, or at least surefire way na makakuha ng pick-off dito ay Mineski, would probably be with Noel then, as well as Kaigo. Kasi you have the kick, of course, for the pick-off potential. You have, of course, the Devourer, as well as the ultimate
yung
of
SS ni Tom Kench.
Yung Abyssal Voyage para makapunta ka in really awkward positions, or actually at secret positions na pwede mag-flank ang Mineski to actually get the pickoffs. And of course, yung follow-up na ultimate ng Cannon Barrage to Gangplank, which is, I think, one of the best zoning tools with great amount of damage.
Sabay isang malupit na curtain call.
Kasi natatanda ko yung laban ng Imperium Pro Team versus War Gods sa Liga Pilipinas. Nalulugi actually sa War Gods like for the first for the early game into the mid game, parang 6-3 ata yung standing nila, and then Light was actually on a Gangplank. Tapos nung nag-clash sila around that dragon area, isang magandang pasok lang ng isang cannon barrage, wala nang escape point ang War Gods and they all got wiped.
Correct.
So ganun ka-crucial ang ultimate ni Gangplank dito.
Kumbaga, ang gusto dito ng ng Mineski, Sags Gaming. Yung sinasabi natin, sinasaging nila, iniisa-isa nila kasi pinipil.
Okay.
Yan, Sags Gaming pare. Yun ang gusto ng kumbaga, long distance, curtain call, cannon barrage, hindi sila go ng todo-todo clash. Which is yun yung gusto ng Imperium Pro Team. Kasi yun nga, tatlong Brusco brothers na magkakamukha yan pare-parehas pakalbo yan. Si Shen, si Rise, tsaka si Brom. So eto na! Punta na tayo sa Summoner's Rift, mga kaibigan. Ito ang Mineski Pro Gaming League Season.
To be Kaigu on that Lee Sin mid lane, Yume on the Gangplank, and in the bottom lane duo, we have Zensho on the Jhin.
The rest at ang ating patch ay ang 6.9.
So now in the blue side, it will be Mineski in the top lane, or Smart.Mineski rather. In the top lane is going to be TG with the Echo. In the jungle is going to be Kaigu on that Lee Sin. Mid lane, Yume on the Gangplank, and in the bottom lane duo, we have Zensho on the Jhin, and his support shall be Noel on the Tahm Kench.
At para naman sa Imperium Pro Team, si JLC bilang ang Rise, si Suez bilang ang Shen, si Light bilang ang LeBlanc, si Hate bilang ang Sivir na ADC, at ang kanyang support na si Poisanity na si paring Brom.
Ito na pag-isipin natin. Since na nag-Shen dito si Suez, it's actually a very good protect onto these, let's say, crucial or, babysitting champ. Kailangan i-babysit a champion sa ibang lanes. I would say, most definitely or most notably, will be the Rise in the top lane for Imperium Pro Team. So kung may SNT si Suez, if JLC is caught like in a 3v1 situation, 2v1 situation,
SSan niya na doon.
SSan nila, and then it could be a turnaround, lalo na meron ditong Tonsi siya that can hit multiple targets under third. It is very devastating, lalo na pag siya yung nakukuha ng mga hits. The third will actually, the third will start hitting the champions, and then ang nag-take na ng damage, of course, will be the Shen, and JLC can do what JLC does and do the damage onto the opponents.
Yapi doggy. Pero tingnan natin, kagaya nga ng sinabi mo, laging nakahanda ang SS ni paring Gangplank Yume dyan. Laging nakahanda ang Cannon Barragers at meron pang Abyssal Voyage dito si paring Noel. So tingnan natin kung anong gagawin dito ni paring Noel. Kung iiwan niya ba dito si Shinzo or sasama-sama siya sa gankers ba netters dito ni Kaigu. So, tingnan natin.
Tingnan natin. Kasi yun nga yung problema. If nag-pick off si Noel dito with Kaigu and then Zensho is caught out in the open, he will most definitely say goodbye to your life.
Goodbye Pinas,
goodbye,
pare.
Alabay.
Matik, kasi tinan mo si Light for sure. Ito, gagankers ba netters din to Pero yan dinidilaan niya na dito si si Light. Anong lasa mo, boy? Easy lang, standard lanes.
Siyempre, chef yan.
Yan, chef.
The root on to Hate
root,
there.
si Hate. Tingnan natin kung malalasahan dito. Ni Noel, nalasahan ulit. Pero mukhang ayaw niya raw ng lasa dahil hindi pa luto. Pero tingnan natin dito.
Mahilig ang iba sa sushi, pero mukhang hindi gusto yun ni Tahm Kench.
Oy!
Palaka siya
Sushi me.
Actually, frog plus catfish.
Si Tahm Kench.
Ang itsura niya. Tingnan mo.
Tingnan mo nga.
Mukha siyang frog na, diba? Na catfish.
Ay, meron akong catfish akong nakita.
Ay, nako, dude. Baka baka may SKB tayo dito.
Teka lang. Yan ang sinasabi natin, Action Pack Gaming. Si Maleficent, mga kaibigan, laban dito kay, ano ba yung skin ni Yume? Special Operations.
Yeah,
SO.
Inisip ko, akala ko Edgar Allan Poe, Ravenborn LeBlanc, diba?
Parang si Maleficent, ewan ko, hindi ko marin masyado.
Either or. Kasi diba nga, Edgar Allan Poe is more of like the, para sabihin to, like yung parang medyo dark and gloomy na writer. And that,
writer yun ba?
And I think yung isa sa mga most notable na creations niya was the Raven, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, hindi ko alam.
Don't quote me on that one, guys. Syempre, hindi ako, master on that kind of stuff. But look at the damage on the Hate. Napaka-on point dito. Ng tongue lash ni Noel.
Yapi doggy si Noel. Mga kaibigan, pinapractice niya ata yung pag-shoot ng kanyang mga dila dito. Pero namumula din siya dito.
Well, it's alright.
Tamaan lang ng passive to, paring Asurai. Ayan natin naman ng passive si Poisanity na devour na dito. Tingnan natin, pero meron pa sila mga summoners.
He's very low in HP though, forces himself
flash
to flash
out
away.
para sa kanya.
Ayun. And the very aggressive that Noel is doing is giving Mineski in the bottom lane some leeway against Imperium Pro Team. Now we'll have to see, because nag-start sa top lane si Suez around, I would say, a 5-minute mark maybe. It could be, actually wait.
Papunta na siya, pare.
Checking.
Hindi kanya nahihintayin,
Okay.
pare.
So mukhang sa top lane siya muna magagang. I thought he was gonna like rotate into the bottom lane because he started the top lane. We'll see.
Pero tingnan natin dito si Suez, mga
Okay, medyo
kaibigan.
mahirapan din si TG.
Lumininja siya dito, mga papi chulo. Pero ito si TG, ito na. Pinapahalata na ni JLC, pero mukhang magkakasalubong ang Ninja at si One Punch Man dito, mga kaibigan. At Taunters, Baneters na si Kaigo dito, pero nakapag-ward out siya dito at mukhang wala namang masyadong ganap. At si Light, binabaril-baril dito.
Oh, that's very
Parang
smart actually
Yume.
from Light. Or rather, Yume picking himself the Undying Grasp. Because his parlay, the Q of the Gangplank, applies on hit effects. It actually applies then yung mastery na yun. And when he actually hits the LeBlanc here, it is a trade of damage while giving him sustainable HP. But Kaigo very low in HP, he's gonna get burned. And there will be the first blood for Suez. Medyo nagtagal dun sa jungle si Kaigo against the Shen. Masyadong malakas ang mga 2x2 dito ng Shen.
Anong naisip ni Kaigo Baneters doon? Akala niya siguro hindi masyadong hindi masakit yung hampas ni paring Shen.
Yeah, well, Shen is the perfect counter to, I would say, Lee Sin, because he has this skill right here. The W of the Shen Spirit Refuge is that when you activate this AoE, it will block every single auto attack for a short duration, which means that lahat ng auto attack na gustong gawin dito ni Kaigo is being
mabablock.
Oo, lalo na meron ding dito si Shen, red buff, and that's just going to be piercing out or burning down Kaigo little by little. And they get punished for that.
Wala,
First blood. Oy!
Baka akala na psycho nila, pero hindi tumama ang tag dito, pero tumama mga
Zencho,
espada
might be
dito.
forced
Si
to
Zencho
flash
namumula
away.
dito, mga kaibigan, pero na-root
Kaigo,
dito.
the revenge.
Si Suez, ito na, si One Punch Boy, nino-normal dito,
Zencho does
patay
it.
dito, mga
Teleport coming
kaibigan.
from JLC.
Pero mukhang mamamatay si Hate dito
Yun.
sa kamay ni
The kill is
TG
real.
Tupac Shakur, mga kaibigan. At napakagandang responde mula kay TG. At dalawa ba napatay? Dalawang napatay ng Mineski. Napatay nila si Suez at napatay nila si Hate. Hindi natin masyado nakita yung action na naganap kay Hate dahil nakafocus tayo kay Zencho.
Well, I think it's alright naman since yun yung nag-initiate ng fight si Suez. Great insight there for Kaigo to actually go to the bottom lane agad for a possible counter gank. Kasi nung pagka-respawn niya, punta siya sa bottom lane. Doon na-catch off na ni si Suez, si Zencho. Yun ang sabi natin. Pag walang nagpro-protect kay Zencho, he is
goodbye si Luke.
Yeah, he's very vulnerable to getting caught out. But because Kaigo was there, they got themselves a favorable trade, actually a better trade, because TG was faster than JLC with the teleport, getting themselves a 2-for-1, and Poisanity could not defend. It was just too much wiggliness, or medyo makulit talaga si TG sa Echo na yun. And Poisanity could not, stun the Echo in time to stop the onslaught of damage onto Hate here.
Wow, nakuha nila ang blue paring Asurai knowing that namatay si Suez. So counter jungling is real para dito kay paring Kaigo. Bawing-bawi. Anong sinabi nyo kanina na underestimate ko yung normal ni Suez? Bawing-bawi ang jungle gaming, mga kaibigan. So tingnan natin yung gold dito.
Check the gold here. Medyo tumataas na dito si Zencho because of that single kill.
Yappy Doggy.
And
BF
wow, looking into the items of Hate. Pagkabalik niya, he has a call and Boots of Speed against a double buffed BF Sword na Zencho here. If they can maximize this advantage agad, because this is just, again, a continuation of the laning phase, they can probably just push out Hate and cancel even more experience and CS. So they're doing just that. It's Kaigo for the second time rotating in this bottom lane. Okay na sila sa top lane. TG does not need any support whatsoever, because if you look at it, he already has the Chrono Break, he has a phase dive, he has the Spectre Skull, granted na na-change yung Spectre Skull, na pinababang MR niya and pinata sa HP, but I think that's fine.
Oops,
and it looks like it's going to be gank part 2.
Parang Asurai mukhang igagank na dito, mga kaibigan. Napakagandang cannon barrage mula dito sa mid at mukhang bibigay na si Poisanity, mga kaibigan. Sabi niya, alam ko na ako ang mamamatay. Mabuhay ka na lang, Hate. Ramdam, mga kaibigan, ang nangyaring advantage kanina para sa Mineski at para din kay Zeus.
And that's what and that's what I'm talking about. They have to keep use of this Lee Sin and then follow up with the kind of barrage. Easy kill for the side of Mineski.
Pero hindi pa tapos, pare Asurai, nilalasahan na dito si Hate. Devourer is real, pero namatay siya mga kaibigan sa kamay ng Torre. Nag-SS dito si Hate para mabuhay siya at mukhang wala magagawa si Zinjo. Ninonormal siya ng mga minions, mga papi chulo, minions. Pero wow, nagtatanim pa ng flowers. Wow, uy, mukhang naku, mukhang makikita siya dito ni John Cena. 10. Tumakbo ka na, paring Zinjo. Moy, tinira pa yung palaka. Hindi yan si Tom Kench. Akala niya siguro.
Well, Poisanity there. TJ gonna get caught up in his top lane, but he has his shield there to stop the aggression coming in from Suez. Suez very low in HP, but he still survives. He's gonna use actually the shield onto JLC. And what a play. The fadeaway timewinder there coming in from TG, though at least makes it a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane. But that was still a very nice consecutive use of skills coming in from this duo of Imperium Pro Team. Kaiga, they're forcing the flash out of JLC. Could have been a 2-4-1 there if Kaigo could have hit that. But still, pretty nice for the top lane.
Grabe.
Pero sa bottom lane talaga, I think it was Noel thinking that devouring your opponent and not allowing Zensha to auto-attack will be something. But it was nothing. They got punished for it.
Actually, akala niya buhay pa siya sa shield. Kasi sinasalo niya yung yung turret. So akala niya buhay pa siya sa shield. Pero teka lang. Okay, sige, explain na ako ulit.
Yun na nga lang kasi. Like, he didn't have to devour at all.
Oo nga. Dalawang hit na lang, di ba? Hindi, tsaka kasi yung Tanglash na spare shield ni Sivir. So, akala din nila mamamatay na. Yun lang, sadla. And nag-TP bigla si Sinjo na hindi niya nakikita na sinusundan na siya ni paring Poisanity. Pero yung balik muna tayo sa nangyari sa top lane. Kagaya nga ng sinabi mo. Fade away time winder pabalik. Nakapatay pa. Si paring TG, nagkamali pa ng SS dito si paring Shen.
Kailangan tanongin sana mamaya sa interview. Ano iniisip mo, TG, kung manalo dito Mineski? Nung binato mo yung Timewinder na, iisip mo mamamatay si Suez? Yes or no? Pero JLC here, naku, ito na, pakuha ng 2-4-2. Walang SS dito si Suez.
2-4-2 sa mga kagawad, mga kaibigan. Meron din na parallel convergence si Tito Mama at si JLC. Meron na dito na ang Ninja. Akala ko pa na 1-on-1 na, pero chrono break pa out at hindi ka na makakapag-face dive sa cliff. Kasi ikaw ay, wala akong maisip na rhyme.
Face dive sa cliff kasi hindi ka naman
buhay sa rift.
Yun!
It's rhymes! Yan, ang pagbabalik. Pero ito, pinapakitaan tayo ng napakagandang laban. Ang dalawang international lab ng Pilipinas. Kung hindi nyo na-gets, ang dalawang team na nakalabas ng Pilipinas para makipag-compete. Pero ito ang sinasabi natin, Fire-type Pokemon. Si Charizard, mga kaibigan, lalabas na.
Yume here, very low on HP, but Kaigo gonna be the one hunting down onto Light, but Light is very healthy. He has mana, he'll be able to distortion over the wall, and we'll see right now what Imperium Pro Team can do because they are just positioning wards all over this Dragon Pit. And so are Mineski. They don't want to give this Infernal Dragon because anyone from the side of these two teams will benefit greatly from it, especially I would think Yume and Light because they are just going to deal a freakishly huge amount of damage when they get their items as well as being buffed up by this Infernal Dragon.
Pero teka lang, parang Asurai mukhang tatamaan dito si Hate, pero mukhang mas gusto nilang si Poisanity at napakagandang kanan barrage, pero nandito na si Suez, mga kaibigan, at inuuna niya si Kaigo. Saan punta Kaigo, pero exhausted dito si Sinjo, mga kaibigan, napakagandang visual dito ni Poisanity, kaso polado siya, mga kaibigan. Si Sinjo na slow dito at mukhang mapapatay siya ni Hate na Boomerang Gaming, mga kaibigan, at nandun pala si Maleficent sa likod. Imperium Pro Team Blue. Imperium Pro Team lang. Walang blue. Kasi naman nakakasanay
Hindi na siya Imperium Pro Team Blue, Cerberus na yun.
Cerberus na pala yun. Kasi alam mo ba't ko nasabi blue? Blue kasi yung kulay nila. Pero Imperium Pro Team kayo, sorry po. Ang ganda ng ng SS ni Suez, pare. Habang nasa loob ba si Poisanity na SS ni Suez yun? Pero teka lang, oops.
Yume gonna get called out here in the mid lane, but he does have the remove Scurvy to remove the chains onto the tethered gangplank here. But again, I would have to just point out talaga that Noel's Devourers are not beneficial for the side of Mineski.
Sa tingin ko dapat kampi niya na lang yung, sinisave niya na lang yung Devourer niya sa kampi niya.
Basically. Kasi pag ginagawa niya, if he gets the max stacks and then Devours, that just makes it so na there's one less Devourer for his teammate onto Zensho to actually keep him alive. If he actually had the cooldown for the Devourer, it could have been Noel or Zensho being able to escape. Kasi nakita natin nasa bottom lane siya kanina. Malapit na siya. Noel could have actually devoured and then, you know, at least given like what, 2-3 seconds of invulnerability here for Zensho, so he might have gotten away. Now there's going to be a 2v1 here. Noel gonna get caught off. He's gonna get stunned there. Where is the backup coming in from Yume here? Looks like he wants to do so, but there is just too many members of Imperium Pro team gonna go into the base of Mineski here. Now we do see that they are positioning themselves in this mid lane, possibly to get the catch onto Yume, but other than that, it's going to be them again clearing out the vision on this dragon. TG getting too much damage from JS here. Pinasabugan
ng chrono break, pero naku, yun ang sinasabi mo, paring Asurai. Base dive ka, pero nakulong ka pa rin sa W ko. Naku po.
Ito na yung mga tipo na mamamiss kita pag
naku po.
Mamamiss kita pag naging presidente sa Twitter. Si Eko yan eh.
Yung tag mo tropa mong mamimiss mo. Tag nyo na tropa nyo habang sinishare yung stream ng ng GG Network.
Yeah, MPGL guys.
He's still in. Wow!
They're gonna go in.
Si Sinjo mga kaibigan. Yun ang sinasabi natin. Imbes na Mineski ang gagawa ng Sags Gaming, mga kaibigan, sila ang nasa Sags Gaming dito. Nasaan si paring Noel?
What an insane just insane control and awareness, map awareness coming in from the side of Imperium Pro Team. Look at how they're positioning their wards right now. There is no chance whatsoever that Imperium Pro Team will have misinformation na meron nag-bait out dito si Zensho. They know where the members of Mineski will be. They know when to go in. And Kaigo here is gonna get caught out.
Naku, ano nangyari kay Kaigo? Ba't bigla siya ng standing ovation dito? Pero naku, tingnan natin, sinipa niya si JLC dito. Pero nandito siya. Kinain na ng sistema, pero flash out sa kanya. Mga kaibigan, nandito na si TG. Timewinder. Wow! Timewinders on point para dito kay TG.
But with a Timewinder on point, still not enough. Yume taking too much damage. Grabe, napaka-ballsy dito ni Live.
Pero nandito na si TG, kaso nastanini siya dito.
Nice kind of barrage though from Yume.
Napakagandang cannon barrage, pero mukhang tatamaan ng parallel convergence sa dalawa. Napakagandang chrono break. Pero nandito si Noel. Tumatakbo.
JLC movement speed boost. Ay, nako,
si JLC pa ang nakapatay. Si Noel lumapit na lang sa kanyang kamping ATR, mga kaibigan. At habang nasa baba, trabaho lang. Pero ito na, Abyssal Voyage. Tingnan natin kung tatamaan ng dila. Hindi, dahil merong shield. Pero tingnan natin kung didilaan niya ulit. Pero ayaw niya. Anong nangyari? Lumamang na.
Just hate things.
IPT, pare.
Hindi niya kailangan pumunta sa kahit anong lane, kahit man severe siya. He just has to farm his own lane. And he is okay with that. 3-1-1 Essence Reaver.
Wow.
And 125 CS to the 118 of Zenshir. I honestly have to think na lang talaga that Imperium Pro Team are using all of their ultimates as well as skills in correct succession here. For the side of Mineski though, medyo may pagka-disoriented sila dito, I would say, because Kaigo did not really need to be on the Krugs area side here of Imperium Pro Team. He had no reason whatsoever. I mean, yeah, you can go for the counter jungle, but then you have no wards. Your opponents, you know, would definitely have wards on their own side of the jungle to catch you out. That's what's happened. And yeah, TG tried to at least do something, but it wasn't enough. Yume there, not the tankiest of members, as he will just go down. And the Rift Herald will be given to, I believe it's going to be Suez here.
Ang pinagtataka ko, hindi wala dahil nga ang build dito ni paring TG kanina, on point na eh. Tumama na yung parallel convergence, tumama na yung chrono break, pero hindi pa rin sapat yung kanyang damage.
Well, he's a tank echo.
Oo, tank echo binil niya at wala rin kasunod din siyang kampi. Sino ba ang kampi niya lang dun kanina? Si
Kaigo.
Di si Yume.
Sa mid lane.
Oo,
Yeah,
patay si Kaigo.
Yume saka si Noel doon.
Di si Noel nag-back eh.
But
Umalis si
speaking
Noel
of
pero
backing,
teka
Imperium
lang,
Pro
mga
Team
kaibigan.
looking to back
Wow!
5
Lima
man
sila dito
people from
mga kaibigan
Mineski.
pero flash out lang ang katapat at unbreakable mula kay Boy Sanity at eto na ang Imperium Pro Team. Buhay! Ayun lang.
Damn.
Grabe, 5 sila boy. Flash lang ang katapat.
Nako, grabe, that was exactly 5 people gonna gank the bottom lane but still not get the catch.
Oy, pero
Siyempre, it was a Sivir and a Braum.
Oh.
But still, that was 5 people trying to do something. But at least that does push out the Imperium Pro Team here for a consolation prize. Actually, it's a very good consolation prize as that was, I believe, the first dragon of the game as gonna be the Infernal being given onto Mineski. The next one
Unang
shall be,
dragon?
I believe, this
Ayun ba
is
yung ano
the
yan?
water.
Water type.
So, again guys, if you're wondering kung yung pick sa natin yung fire, water, dragon,
Oy!
wait! Ito na yung cuts dito
Curtain
kay
call, ito
Light.
sinasabi natin, long range gaming mga papi chulo pero napakagandang SS mula kay Suez at hindi sapat ang cannon barrage at curtain call para mapatay si Light mga papi chulo.
Well, I'm liking this
Anyari.
from Mineski as rather than never mind.
Pero wow, napakagandang tot, napakagandang fissure oh, goodbye. Nabuhay ba? Nabuhay si Yume? Oo nga.
Yeah, actually, I thought it would have been a good trade for Mineski because what they were doing right there is that they were actually forcing ultimates out of Imperium Pro Team's side that it would have been more of the defensive rather than the offensive or a non-counterable ultimate there.
Oh, pero
Right?
parang Asurai tinamaan ng stun dito si Suez flash out mula sa kanya pero
Ano si
nandito
Light?
kasi
What the damage from Light,
napakagandang
though?
distortion gaming mga kaibigan mula
One for
dito
one
kay
trade.
Light. Pero ito na mga barrels. Kuya mo, walang tinamaan, grabe. Yun ang sinasabi natin kanina eh, 'di ba? Yung magugulat na lang sila, papasok na si Light at eto na, dadating na ang mas bida.
So, yun ang rin yung inisip ko kanina. Like, what Mineski wanted there is that aside from getting a kill, they could have transitioned into the mid-tier 1. Problem was, I think they clumped themselves together too much and didn't respect, again, the linear damage or linear CC that a Braum and
Wow.
has. TJ gonna get caught out here. He has to force himself to flash away. The Theories actually connect. Will JLC going for the pursuit?
Oops.
Will he actually die? No, he will
Buhay.
not as the tower does not take an extra hit. Cannon Barrage would have been perfect there
Ayan
to
na.
possibly get a kill. And here in the bottom lane, it's
Goodbye.
going to be Zensho. Hello world, goodbye world, and
Alam
he
na.
will say
Matik.
hasta la vista, baby. While JLC in the top lane is still going to survive. Yun ang sinasabi natin. If Noel tries to rotate at nag-farm si Zensho alone by his lonesome, walang forever, pero mamamatay siya.
Walang forever mga kaibigan pero sinabi nga ni Miriam, defensor, stupid is forever. Easy crazy. Pero nung May 4, may forever. Alam mo ba bakit?
May the force be with you.
Hindi, May 4, ever.
Kala ko kasi
Oh!
ano mo yung sa Star Wars.
Oo, pwede
Kasi,
rin.
di ba
Pwede
nga, forever on Star Wars.
Oo, forever
May the
ang
fourth
Star
be with
Wars.
you.
Pero ito, pinapakitaan tayo ng magandang tactics ng Imperium Pro Team. Pinoprove talaga nila sa Pilipinas na sila ang dapat tingalain sa ngayong panahon, lalo na 6.9. Mage is real.
Again, if you would dub Imperium Pro Team anything for their side, it is the champions who have set the bar for Philippines. Yun talaga dapat ang maging ang like subtitle nila.
Sa tingin ko, magagawa lang ng Mineski dito is yun nga, magawa yung long range gaming makapag-peel. Sino lang ba ang pwede nila ma-peel dito? Para sa akin, si Light lang ang kaya nilang mapitas dito, parang Asurai. Kaso si Light, may SS naman ni Suez, tas marami pang distortion.
Yeah, exactly. Suez's SS have all been on point. My God. For pickups, for saving his teammates, it has always been up,
Correct,
ready
no?
and waiting. And Mineski are just baffled in how they would actually find an opening to counter this. They have to be much more explosive than they have been in the early game. In the early game, they were successful, but for some reason, nagkakaroon downfall na sila. I think it's because they force themselves too much and Kaigo here gonna get caught out again.
Mapapassive na dito si Kaigo mga kaibigan. Nasta na siya dito at mukhang hindi siya kakainin dito ni Noel at mukhang na-save pa siya ng Devourer. Buti na lang umabot ang kagat ng alamat.
Yun ang alam din. Like, Kaigo is supposed to be the person making the most impact out of Mineski here. And he has been, but it's not enough. He has to be much more. Height here might get caught out though, but they don't have any form of gap closer unless they use TG. They force TG to go in or Yume to actually do something right now.
Kaso napansin mo, naubos na ng Mineski lahat ng skills nila. Pero humahabol pa rin sila. Saan punta, Imperium? Sabi nila, pero nandito na si Kaigo, mga kaibigan. At si Suez, wow! Tinubi-1 ni Suez, mga kaibigan, si Yume at humahabol sila dito. Ito na, si Hate, mga kaibigan. Let's Beyblade! At mukhang mamamatay si Yume dito. Wow, grabe, goodbye silog. Mga Papi Chulo at 3v2 ang laban. Si TG nag-iisa. Saan punta? Fade away pa, boy. At mukhang lulutuin na dito ni Hate ang palaka sa silong ni Kaka. May taong nakadampa and goodbye. Sabi dito ni Hate Ace Hardware. At mukhang papatayin na lang dito ang Baron Nashor, mga kaibigan. Si Suez,
Yeah, clean ace from Imperium Pro Team there, and I don't know why Mineski forced that. It looked like TG was looking for a flank maneuver, but it was just from this angle right here.
Correcto.
I think it would have been better if it was more on a further spot, right around this area. A ward might have been placed, could have allowed him to actually get a better flanking position, but to no avail. Mineski forced it too much, and they got heavily punished. Ace plus the Baron into the hands of Imperium Pro Team. I think that's gonna, it does stack with the Rift Herald buff here. If you guys didn't know,
talaga?
There is a change on the Rift Herald where it's become a 20-minute buff, but it only activates itself pag mag-isa ka.
Oh, okay, pero kahit na nagsastack pa din, pero ito na mukhang kukunin na ng Imperium Pro Team ang water type dragon.
Next is gonna be the Infernal, and this is like the perfect buffs going into the side of Imperium Pro Team. I think the best would be, of course, the Earth Dragon because it adds damage onto structures, but having the water dragon with the sustainability, of course, the region on the mana as well as the health, that will at least keep Mineski health, or rather Imperium Pro Team healthy here with the Baron, and just keep them sieging with the mana region as well. Of course, the Infernal Dragon with the damage onto champions is going to make them happy because their damage is going to skyrocket against Mineski. Right now, look at this. 37,000 to the 46,000 there of Imperium Pro Team. 717.
Tingnan natin kung anong kaya ng Mineski dito. Tsaka tingnan mo naman yung mapa, paring Asurai. Wala pang nababasag ang Mineski na maski isang lane. So medyo trap card sila dito pagdating sa map control. Wala, maliit ang mapa nila.
Yeah, well, they forced themselves too much to get the picks. Nakita mo kanina, it was a 2v5 na what Hate actually did there was flash shield and use his ultimate and spell shield. Tapos nung munti na siya mahuli, nag-unbreakable na si Poisanity and then stand by me para
mabuhay pa.
O para makabounce pa siya kay Hate.
Kaya nga.
Perfect transition of skills coming in from Imperium Pro Team, and Mineski is none the wiser.
Hindi kasi wala rin naman kasing panghuli nga itong Mineski. Sabihin natin merong sipa, pero pag tumama yung Q,
yeah, it's too unreliable at this point.
Kaya nga.
We were thinking kasi at before this match started that it would have been Kaigo making plays with this Lee Sin.
Ma-action, di ba?
Well, he was actually for the earlier stages of the game, but the problem now is that medyo nagkaroon siya ng positioning disadvantage. He got caught out very well, and Sancho got out.
Grabe, pumikit lang ako. Nawala ka na. At si Yume, ginamit na ang kanyang SS para lang para lang sa wala. Yan, sayang.
Wow, sad, the fearlessness of JLC there. Just going in very ballsy in front of the mid-tier 2. No respect whatsoever for his opponent as well as his own life. And he gets himself an easy pick-up on the Zensha. Again, Noel is nowhere to be found near his ADR.
Oo nga, no? Sayang yung mga Devour Gaming. Yun ang ine-expect natin kanina mula kay Noel eh. Pero ito, parallel convergence, walang tinamaan mga kaibigan, at masyadong makunat dito ang Imperium Pro Team. Pero tinan mo si Zuez, wala, hindi niya pinapansin. O sige, kainin mo na ako. Isa akong ninja. O sige, patayin nyo na ako. Kaso, mukhang mamamatay ang Torre dito. Pero hindi, buhay pa mga papi chulo.
Well, of course, just by a little bit. Kaigo tries to go in with the ultimate. Gets the kick onto JLC there. No damage whatsoever onto this Rise, and Mineski looking to retreat just by a bit there. JLC is super fearless.
He has the lap in gears!
the regeneration from this Wall of Ages, and he will just decimate the members of Mineski as a 1 for 5 trade in favor of Imperium Pro Team, and they are looking to finish this right now. There is very high cooldowns into the side of Mineski, and I think that's GG/FF, ladies and gentlemen, 1-0 for the side of Imperium Pro Team.
Yung SS lang ba ni JLC yung umubos sa Mineski? Gulat ako, goodbye eh.
Well, okay. It was, of course, yung AoE damage then coming in from Hate, but JLC, I think, got the last shots there. So, of course, that was, again, Imperium Pro Team just 1-0 against Mineski. It really looked like Mineski were coming in strong onto that. They had really good ganks as well as good control of the lane, especially in the bottom lane, because of the harassment that Jin and, of course, the aggression that Noel was doing. So, if you'll just check out the endgame stats right here to show to our viewers. Okay.
Ayan.
Alright. Let's just show our viewers right here.
Yun, tingnan natin. Kills, paring Asurai. Wow, JLC. Tsaka Hate.
So, of course, right now, look at that. 1-4-12.
Wow,
Jesus Christ.
Playmaker, pare.
Grabe talaga yung mga ultimates ni Suez doon. Let's just check out, of course, the damage dealt to champions.
Yan JLC.
So, damage dealt, of course, will be JLC. Nakita mo, gano'n siya ka-aggressive sa kanyang mga pagpasok. 24,000. The shotgun rise is too real. And damage, of course, damage taken would be Kaigo there because he was caught out multiple times. So, that's it. Game 1 is over.